Chapter 1. The Mountain's Whisper. You stand before a vast granite wall, fingers tracing the pale veins of quartz that run like rivers through stone. A quiet hum seems to rise from the rock as you touch it, born from the piezoelectric effect. Pressure on polarized crystals generates a tiny electric spark. You feel that spark resonate beneath your fingertips, a soft echo of the mountain's own heartbeat. In this first moment of stillness, you discover that solid rock can be alive with secret currents. Your breath deepens, syncing with the rhythm of crystal lattices that extend far beneath the Earth's skin. Atoms align in repeating patterns, each tiny unit holding a store of potential energy. When tectonic plates shift and press into one another, those lattices flex, pixel by pixel, releasing small currents that ripple outward. You imagine the vast Andes stretching along the horizon, each peak connected by a network of silent electric threads. The effect is subtle, yet it shapes landscapes across millennia. Walking gently forward, you become part of this living circuit, each step transmitting faint signals through fractured stone. Just as geologists use sensors to detect microseismic waves, you sense how stress accumulates and releases in pulses. The ground beneath you vibrates with the slow drumbeat of shifting plates, and in that rhythm, you hear an ancient story of formation and endurance. Science becomes a companion in your exploration, offering clarity as you listen. You marvel at how ionic movements within crystal structures can scale up, shaping entire mountain ranges over eons. In this suspended moment, you realize the Earth communicates through more than sound. Beneath your feet, infrasonic waves travel like gentle pulses, too low for human ears, yet palpable in your chest. You become attuned to the subterranean chorus of movement and memory. As dusk settles, you carry a growing curiosity about the frequencies that surround you, a soft invitation to probe the unseen vibrations waiting just beyond your awareness, leading you onward, drawn by the promise of deeper resonance. Chapter 2. Quipu and Stone Rings. You uncoil a golden thread of memory against the sky, your fingers tracing loops of fiber that hold stories in each knot. The quipu, an ancient Andean device, uses these knots to count llamas, calendars, and journeys. Each knot's position on the chord signals plays value, units, tens, hundreds, forming a base 10 system without ink. You feel the weight of history in this elegant counting tool. A gentle curiosity stirs. In your other hand, you cradle a ring-shaped stone whose smooth, circular form feels eternal. The circumference of the circle reminds you of geometry. C equals 2 pi r, connecting diameter to perimeter in a universal formula. You imagine measuring the stone's edge with lengths of thread, each wrap marking a number. In this way, stone and fiber share a language of measurement, as precise as any ruler or abacus. Slipping the quipu cord through a central loop, you sense a silent conversation unfolding. Information flows between fiber and rock, each knot corresponding to a turn around the ring. The record becomes three-dimensional, a spiral of knowledge. Like magnetic tape winding through a player, these loops capture data in space and time. You grasp how different cultures devised unique methods to archive resources and sacred dates without paper. A soft breeze carries the scent of mountain air as you sit among these relics of human ingenuity. You reflect on the nature of information storage. how atoms in quartz crystals or electrons on a hard drive can also encode vast libraries. Here, humble materials weave a bridge between memory and meaning. In every interactive loop, you sense the spark of discovery that pulses through every scientific invention. As night deepens, you rise, letting the quipu and stone rings rest your palm. Moonlight glimmers on each polished ring, casting slender arcs of silver light. The thread still carries warmth from your touch, each knot recalling counted lives. A quiet question lingers. What cycles await when numbers form a perfect loop? With that gentle mystery in your heart, you follow curiosity toward the next secret. Chapter 3. Stone capacitors revealed. You stand in an ancient quarry at dusk, surrounded by granite slabs layered like metal plates in a capacitor. The cool stone feels heavy under your fingertips. You observe how rock layers could hold charge between surfaces, just as a circuit uses metal plates. A capacitor stores energy in an electric field that forms between conductive plates separated by a substance called a dielectric. You breathe in the cool mountain air, tasting mineral dust that hints at hidden layers of clay and mica between the stones. These minerals act as dielectrics, insulating the layers of rock. Mica's sheet structure and clay's fine particles create tiny regions where electric fields align and store energy. In each microspace, polarized molecules resist the force of a charge, strengthening the capacitor's ability to hold a quiet potential. Your footsteps echo across the quarry floor, and you imagine the entire Andes acting as a vast network of these natural capacitors. Each vein of clay and mica becomes a tiny energy reservoir, silently charging beneath Earth's surface. Geologists measure how capacitance varies with material and thickness, just as you sense subtle pulses of potential around you. Energy builds in these stone capacitors, waiting for a path to release its stored spark. You close your eyes and picture electric field lines weaving between rock plates, linking one capacitor to the next. In your mind, you trace how charges hop across gaps, forming gentle circuits beneath your touch. Real circuits use conductive paths, but here the Earth's mineral veins guide energy like hidden wires. This inner mapping reveals the principles of capacitance, energy storage, and discharge, concepts that sit quietly in every electronic device you hold. A gentle spark of curiosity glows in your chest as you stand among stone plates and hidden dielectrics. You sense that circuits yet undiscovered lie, waiting beneath your fingertips, poised to reveal how energy flows through the earth itself. Mindful of the principles you uncover here, charge, field, and storage, you breathe deeply, ready to explore deeper connections in the chapter ahead with open wonder and steady calm. Chapter 4. Harmonic Valleys. You step into a mountain amphitheater as dawn drapes the rocks in soft light. You feel the still air charged with possibility and notice how each concave wall curves into a gentle arc. A single breath draws in the cool heights, and you sense that every stone face listens patiently. Your footsteps become echoes, weaving a subtle tapestry of sound that dances along sloping ridges. In this moment of calm observation, you encounter the quiet promise of hidden resonance. Here, concave rock formations focus waves like a natural parabolic mirror, guiding sound toward a focal point. You imagine a simple experiment, standing at one end of a circular bowl and whispering across its surface, hearing your voice return with amplified clarity. In the amphitheater, parallel sound waves reflect off the walls in unison, reinforcing each other at precise locations. This principle of acoustic focusing reveals an elegant law of physics drawn directly into the mountain's embrace. As you venture deeper into the space, you trace a pattern of tiny niches carved by Inca engineers. Each hollow serves as an acoustic node, carefully placed to capture and project sound. You touch the cool stone, feeling how ancient hands shaped geometry to harness resonance. The network of nodes forms a vast circuit, like synapses firing in response to a call. Through these hollows, the valley becomes a living instrument, tuned to specific harmonics that echo across the highlands. You close your eyes and speak a gentle word into the void. You feel the vibrations surge beneath your fingertips, sensing the wave peaks as they align and merge. Standing waves arise between opposing walls, carrying energy that you can almost see as ripples of light. Guided by vibration, you follow invisible pathways, stepping from one resonant point to the next. Each footfall amplifies the valley's music, revealing a landscape drawn in chords and frequencies. In the hush of this resonant heart, you realize that valleys sing their secrets in harmonics tuned by Earth itself, inviting you to listen and wander toward discoveries still whispered on the wind. Softly. Chapter 5. Thermal Paths of Life. You step into a corridor hewn from basalt, and a gentle wave of warmth greets you. The stone floor feels surprisingly soft underfoot, as heat moves through conduction and convection. Basalt, rich in minerals and dense in structure, absorbs the midday sun, or even distant geothermal currents, storing energy like a patient guardian. Each step invites you to notice how temperature gradients guide airflow, whispering promises of comfort through unseen currents. Your fingertips trace the masonry walls, discovering hidden channels carved to cradle heated water. As gravity pulls moisture downward, warmed pathways create a gentle microclimate, keeping granaries cool in daylight and snug through chilly nights. This design harnesses thermal mass, the capacity of stone to absorb heat during peak hours and release it slowly when temperatures fall. It's a quiet choreography of energy conservation, where every stone is both vessel and sensor in a living system. You pause as a current of warm air rises from beneath a low arch, carrying faint scents of stored grain and earth. Beneath your palm, the stone hums with thermal inertia. Its specific heat and density mean it changes temperature slowly, acting as a living thermostat. In nature, thermal inertia shapes coastal climates and ocean currents, smoothing extremes. Here, those same principles soften each breath you take, allowing your body to align with the steady pulse of the stones. Walking deeper, you sense the corridor unfolding into a living network of heat veins. These passages mirror ancient hypocaust, underfloor heating systems used by Romans to warm baths and villas. By circulating air and channeling radiant warmth, masonry becomes an engine of comfort without fuel or flame. Generations have tuned stone thickness, passage width, and material composition to balance airflow and heat retention, sustaining life, crop preservation, and restful nights in harmony with nature's rhythms. You notice warmth converging at a threshold ahead, where walls curve into an arch. The gentle rise in temperature feels like an invitation held by time itself. You stand poised between the calm of gathered heat and the unfolding promise beyond, listening for the next discovery that awaits beyond this glowing portal. Chapter 6: Solar Nexus Alignments. You stand at the mountain ridge just before dawn, breathing cool air and feeling the granite beneath your feet. Pale light spills across monoliths set by ancient hands, their silhouettes solid against the growing sky. You sense a gentle hush as shadowed stones await the sun. In this moment, you notice how the Earth's tilt shapes dawn's approach, and how each block seems to watch the horizon with patient purpose and promise. Ancient builders aligned these stones with solstices, mapping the sun's journey like a celestial clock. You imagine them observing light's angle on midsummer morning, tracing slanted rays across polished granite. They noted how, at summer solstice, a narrow beam slides through a carved slit, touching a petroglyph. At winter solstice, a different shadow pattern appears. These observations reveal Earth's axial tilt of about 23.5 degrees, turning sky and stone into a natural calendar, measuring seasons with precision. You run your fingers along the cool face of a slab, feeling the grooves carved to direct sunlight. Each plane, each edge, is set at a precise angle to capture both solar and lunar light. Over months, ancient observers recorded the moon's shifting position along the horizon, marking lunar standstill cycles every 18.5 years. In this geometry, science and spirit converge, as stone becomes a lens revealing celestial rhythms against a silent sky. As dawn arrives, a narrow golden beam stretches across the ridge, recording time in moving shadows. You watch minutes unfurl like petals, light arcing across stone faces, marking hours without clocks. The sun's path shifts slightly each day, about 1 degree against the horizon, so observers know when seasons change. You feel that each shadow is a pulse in the solar circuit of day and night, a precise rhythm created by Earth's rotation, an orbit wrapped in ancient stone. You breathe in the stillness as golden light warms the slopes. In every carved line and shadow gap, you sense time's whispers, an invitation to explore how sky and stone converse. Dawn's glow promises another new lesson in cosmic design. You pause, standing between earth and sun, awaiting what tomorrow's light will softly reveal. Chapter 7: Electromagnetic Ley Lines. You step lightly across a plateau of dark basalt, where faint forces shift beneath your feet. In this moment, you become aware of an invisible architecture. Lines of magnetic flux threading through Earth's crust like softly glowing ribbons. You feel a gentle tug, subtle yet persistent, as though the planet's core hums a deep, silent melody. This is the magnetic field, a vast dipolar force generated by molten iron currents swirling within Earth's outer core. Every step traces these lines through iron-rich stones that hold magnetization like ancient keepsakes. Minerals such as magnetite carry microscopic domains aligned with Earth's field, turning simple rock into a living compass. You recall how a magnetic declination can shift by degrees over time, and you sense how these stones calibrate the pull beneath you. Each footfall becomes a measurement, an intimate dialogue between iron atoms and the planet's silent directives. Farther on, you imagine Inca engineers standing before these same lines. They left stone temples and gold-plated discs aligned with geomagnetic axes. creating grids that channeled the field's subtle energy. Archaeologists propose that these structures tapped Earth's magnetism to regulate water flow and orientation, blending ritual with natural science. You feel how geometry, observation, and purpose converged in their designs, as if every temple was a node in a continent-wide circuit of sacred currents. As you continue, your palms tingle at nodes where lines intersect, harboring localized anomalies. These are magnetic anomalies, slight deviations caused by variations in the mineral content or subterranean structures. Like a circuit board alive, Earth's surface becomes a network of currents and fields, where each crossing hums with potential. You lean closer, feeling an almost electrical resonance beneath your skin, a proof of how physics and wonder can unfold in the touch of a silent grid. You sense a convergence ahead, where currents weave into a unified pulse at a distant horizon. The dipole nature of Earth's magnetism, with its North Pole, reminds you how balance emerges from motion. In that throb, you perceive a silent whisper of connection, linking stone, water, and breath. You pause, feeling cool air carry an electric promise, as each heartbeat echoes the planet's rhythm and beckons you onward. Chapter 8. Memory Currents in Rock. You hold a clay vessel at dusk, feeling its surface weighed by silent histories. Your fingertips notice a gentle static as positive ions, calcium and sodium released from water, settle into tiny grooves between mica layers. In its fine-grained structure, known as phyllosilicate sheets, clay traps water molecules and charged particles. This cation exchange happens naturally, a simple chemical embrace that anchors momentary liquid flow into a solid repository of memory. You feel its quiet presence. Long ago, artisans blended earth, ash, and quartz, combining silica with minerals to strengthen the clay matrix. When they fired the vessels above 900 degrees Celsius, the heat induced sintering. Particles fuse at contact points without melting entirely. This process reduces porosity, locking in fluid inclusions and volcanic ash particles. You imagine each shard as a ledger, recording shifts in humidity and pH across centuries, an interface between human intention and geological forces. Within every vessel pore, water diffuses slowly along capillary channels, carrying dissolved ions that reshape adjacent surfaces over millennia. This process resembles a primitive analog recorder, inscribing chemical gradients whose subtle shifts reveal past environmental conditions. Scientists measure these gradients during X-ray fluorescence scans, detecting trace elements like iron and manganese. Each concentration curve corresponds to a chapter of rainfall, drought, and temperature swings, transformed into mineral patterns you can read like faded ink. Your mind hums as you sense the crystalline lattice guiding these transformations. Clay minerals are sheet silicates, with layers only nanometers apart, creating internal surfaces where reactions unfold. Water molecules slip between sheets, expanding and contracting the network with shifts in humidity. Over thousands of years, that pulsation etches microfractures and aligns iron oxides. In laboratory magnification, these patterns resemble a network, each vein mapping the vessel's hidden biography. You linger over every detail. You taste anticipation as you trace this story of ions and minerals melding memory into matter. Your breath slows while you imagine connecting these ancient records to the next discovery. where ancient molecules whisper through amber or tree rings, tally the passing seasons. Each step feels like unlocking a code written in stone. Each insight a delicate pattern unfolding beneath your awareness. And in that moment, you sense a thread beckoning you onward. Chapter 9. Petrographic Echoes. This evening, you cradle a sliver of polished stone beneath a soft lamplight, its edges glowing warm. Light filters through a 30 micrometer thin section, revealing layers you could not see with the naked eye. Each transparent fragment carries a silent chronicle of heat and pressure, frozen in crystal lattices. Under low-power magnification, you notice tiny tweed-like patterns where minerals intersect. In this quiet moment, geology unfolds like a living manuscript scribed in silica and iron, offering gentle insight on time. As you tilt the slice at an angle, bands of mica and quartz shimmer, tracing gentle waves across the field of view. This foliation forms under directed pressure and high temperature, rearranging mineral grains into parallel alignments. Each ribbon hints at a moment deep beneath Earth's crust, when rock transformed under stress. Through cross-polarized light, the colors shift, revealing how crystalline structures rotate and bend, like pages in a slow, unfolding geological ballet. You feel a quiet reverence. Shifting to higher magnification, you observe inclusion trails threading through garnet crystals like golden filaments. Each tube holds traces of fluids, snapshots of chemical environments millions of years old. Feldspar grains display twin lamellae, straight, narrow bands marking internal stress and growth history. These microstructures serve as natural memory banks, encoding past temperatures and pressures in precise compositional zoning. You sense how smallest grain carries a fragment of Earth's unfolding narrative. Your focus shifts to etchings along the stone's margin, grooves carved by ancient hands that intersect natural grain boundaries. Petroglyphs align with quartz veins, forming circuits that guide sunlight at dawn. Architects oriented building stones to capture rising light, blending geology with ritual. Here, you witness a dialogue between tectonic memory and human purpose. Each carved line echoes mineral orientation, suggesting meaning arises from layered interactions of earth and intention. As you lower stone, the network of mineral stories lingers in your gaze. Every layer, wave, and carving joins a chorus of echoes, resonating in decades-old silence. Your mind holds fragments of primordial heat, fluid infiltration, human ritual, and tectonic motion, woven like complex mosaic. In this moment, the boundary between science and art softens, revealing how intimately we share Earth's unfolding tapestry. You wonder what final pattern awaits when all these echoes converge. Chapter 10. The Threshold of Awakening. You stand at the crossroads of every whisper, current, and echo beneath a sky painted by twilight. Here in the high Andes, the air thins so each breath brings fewer than 21% oxygen molecules to your alveoli. You feel your lungs and chest muscles expand and contract softly with gentle precision, like bellows in an old forge. Each inhale grounds you in chemistry and physiology, reminding you that life depends on molecular exchange between blood and air. Stone pathways converge here. The Andes rise from the collision of the Nazca and South American tectonic plates at 2 centimeters a year, a relentless dance of geology. You sense layered sediment, ancient riverbeds, and volcanic ash compressed into crystalline rock. Each stratum reads like a page in Earth's memoir, showing how pressure and heat transform mud into marble and ash into obsidian. Over eons, tectonic forces sculpt mountains. Your senses blend memory and sound into one living resonance. Nearby, echoes return at roughly 343 meters per second, showing how vibrations carry stories across time and space. You feel the resonance on your skin like ripples from a pebble dropped in still water. This reminds you that ears and neurons both transduce mechanical waves into electrical signals, wiring you to the world's hidden rhythms. Your mind maps returning echoes. You feel the circuit complete when mountain wind brushes past your skin, a current of charged ions. Each gust carries negative and positive charges, altering the air's voltage and tingling your hair. It reminds you how neurons propagate impulses, sodium and potassium ions crossing cell membranes. It fuels muscle contractions. This interplay of charge composes the language of sensation and thought within you. You realize the Andes hold a secret heart, waiting for awakening. Deep beneath your feet, magma pulses in hidden chambers, its molten rock heated by Earth's core to temperatures over 1200 degrees Celsius and set in motion by thermal convection. You sense the ground's subtle vibration like a steady heartbeat. In this moment, you understand energy flows beneath and within all things, connecting stars, mountains, and your spirit in a cycle of transformation. Geothermal springs at surface reveal Earth's warmth to you. You stand poised at this threshold, eager to step deeper into the Andes' hidden passage.